Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and today I'm in West Bromwich. I did a video a while back and it was about eyesore buildings. Today I'm doing eyesore buildings too. So what I've done, I've gone around a few buildings today in West Bromwich which in my opinion are a bit of an eyesore. You may not share my opinion, but that's my opinion all the same. And I'm sure there's some lovely buildings in West Bromwich, and notably, of course, we've got the Oak House and we've got the Manor House, both now Grade 1 listed buildings. Fabulous buildings, which I will go and have a look one of these days. But today what I'm going to do is have a look at some of those buildings that some, including me, consider to be an eyesore. So let's go and check it out. So I've got a selection here of buildings and areas that I think personally are a bit of an eyesore, but not this one obviously. This is the Oak House, the Oak House Museum. This is a fine building, a beautiful building in fact, and it's now Grade 1 listed. We've got two Grade 1 listed buildings in West Bromwich now, Manor House and the Oak House. But what I want to show you, just here beyond these two houses, there used to be a farm. Oak Farm, I believe. And right next to this, what would have been Oak Farm, although Oak Farm would have been gone long before this particular building was constructed, it's the Sons of Rest. Its official title is the Eli Fletcher Memorial Sons of Rest Home, and from over the road you can see it's now quite a dilapidated building now. It's got boarded up front windows, a boarded up entrance, and we've got all this overgrowth of bushes and weeds at the front. It's been like this for ages now. Obviously lack of use ensured it ended up the way it does, but it's in a very poor state now. The old Sons of Rest building, and I'm not really sure we can see much behind the rear of the building, but yet over there would have been a farm to the rear of the Sons of Rest. So there you go. It is a bit of an eyesore here on Oak Road. I did a video around here not so long the other day when I showed you Angels, the Gentlemen's Club, where that was a pub just there, the Oak Tavern. But there was another particular building here that looked a bit of an eyesore, and I think it's this one on the corner of Oak Lane. I'll show you that in a minute. Never too sure about pink houses, but this one here. Now I said one of them used to be a chip shop. I think that could have been a chip shop. Yeah, I think this might have been a shop as well, but I could be wrong. I'm presuming it's flats or it's a house, but very old signage there behind the satellite dish saying Lodge Road. But it is in a bit of a state. Look, all the plasterwork has disappeared from the frontage. And there might have been some shop signage across the top, but sadly this one on the corner of Lodge Road is a bit of an eyesore. Yeah, before I disappear from this particular corner, I always swear that used to be a chip shop there, but then somebody who was passing by just said it used to be a hairdresser's, and this used to be a sweet shop, Skidmore's. Well, I wouldn't know. I'm down Dartmouth Street now, and you can see here Chapman Street, which was a very old street, but you wouldn't recognise Chapman Street from the days of the 1930s and 40s, where there was lots of old terraced housings and shops down here, but now you can see it's all very modern down there now. This is what I want to show you here. Yeah, this place looks a bit of a eyesore where it's shuttering, but there's this church here. I've come past it a couple of times, and it's a bit of a ski slope, isn't it? It's amazing when people come up with designs for buildings. You can't really get a good view of it, but look, it rises to the front and then it slopes right down to the rear. It's a very odd looking building, and I don't like the colours much either, with its turquoisey top there, and then it's very cream coloured. It gives it a very old fashioned looking feel to the building. This is the Seventh-day Adventist church, and where they believe that the Saturday is the Sabbath, and any new members, if you want to be a new member of the Seventh-day Adventists, then you would have to commit yourself to total immersion to be baptized. They don't believe in working on a Saturday. It's got the times and of what they do on a Saturday and on Wednesday, but it's just I don't know, it's a bit of an eyesore. But having said it's an eyesore, it does look it does lie back a bit. The wall surroundings look as though they need a lick of paint. Next door used to be Memmy Motors. People do live in this building, but it looks as though it was a garage, no longer. Car repair garage. But no, so there you go, that's my take on that church. A bit of an eyesore, I think. Unfortunately, it's not really right in your face, it's not right on the side of the road. It does lie back. But just a very odd design. Now, save us from modern architects, eh? This is the Shireland Biomedical UTC something university. They specialise in healthcare, social care for students. But look at it. Look how long it is there, and then there's this bit here stuck on the end. But it's not only that, look at these strange pole-like structures underneath. It's giving in the impression that those two poles there are holding it up from collapsing. But I think this is a bit of an ugly building. On the site here where Shireland used to stand was the West Bromwich Technical College, if you remember. It was quite a high brown structured building there that had been built there. Well, I think it got knocked down back in the late 90s, I believe, or early 2000s, to be replaced with this eyesore. Anyway, that's the Shireland Biomedical UTC. Another student campus at West Bromwich has got quite a few of. Next building I saw, I'm going to show you, is Dartmouth House. You can see the rear of it just there. You can see this. This is going to be turned into flats eventually. It used to be an NHS building of sorts. I don't know what they actually did here. I think its recent use was solicitors were using it. There's a lot of rubbish outside and bricks. So there might be some interior work going on, but it seems to be taking for absolutely forever, because this building has been an eyesore like this for many a year now. And before all this, there used to be a lovely old pub, and next to that would have been Spencer's Brewery, an off licence, and I think many of if you will remember that, it was still here in the 60s anyway. And to be replaced with this, you know, amazing. Anyway, commercial buildings now going to be quite a rare sight here in West Bromwich very soon, because many of the commercial buildings that I've covered thus far seem to be being converted into flats and apartments and HMOs, and this is going to be no different. So there we are, another eyesore down here in Sandwell Road. Right, as we leave Dartmouth House behind, I just want to show you this particular house here. Rather smart looking building here, a detached property. I don't know if it's private residence or anything to do with the council, because we're right outside the Sandwell Registry Office. Just there used to be a tennis court. And it's a very smart looking property, that one. In contrast to a building I'm just going to show you here, which I've shown you a few times as I've been along Brad Street. It's that one there in the distance. It's I'm not sure if it's got any historical significance as to why it's still standing there, but along here there would be old terraced houses back in the 30s, 40s, and similarly down there there'd be a pub and a brewery, Spencer's Brewery down there. And just show you where these, just that entrance there, that road entrance there, Alba Road, that would be the Labour Club. And Sandwell Road will continue there with a crown on the left. But I'm just going to show you this with its surrounding walls, which is showing you that there probably was a window of sorts there. It's all bricked up now, giving the impression that there were some outbuildings at the rear, and all the paintwork of these walls are all flaking off. And there are people living here. The kitchen, the outbuilding there, the kitchen area, I believe, looks all kind of modern, but you can see there was like outbuildings there in the garden, and all the white paint has flaked off this wall. There's a new gate just been put on there as well. I just want to show you also that next to this house there used to be 4 more houses, terrace properties. They would go along here where this grass verges, and right next to this newly created entrance to the registry office car park. So there was all terraced houses, probably similar to this one, but for some reason this one still stands. And of course you can see all the white paint that's on there is all flaking off, and that's the problem, of course, when you paint these buildings in white. You need to keep it up to date. And the chimney as well, look, it's all flaked off, and all the paintwork needs to be well, it just needs to be repainted, doesn't it? It could be quite a nice looking property if it just had a lick of paint perhaps, but sadly, as things are, it's a bit of an eyesore. And there's the rest of Brad Street up there. So this place in Lombard Street West, this is an absolute disgraceful looking building. This is called West House. I think it's had various office uses in the past, but as you can see, all the metal paintwork is all flaked off. Above the brickwork there's a whole tile, if you like, that's been displaced. The windows themselves look in need of cleaning. It goes back a bit as well. As you can see, there's another block behind this one, and it's not as if the people who live in here, it's cheap. It's extraordinarily expensive to live in these places these days for rent and maintenance costs. There's rubbish outside. West House is an appalling eyesore. I mean, to me, when I look at this building, it looks as though it's ready for demolition, rather than all people living in there. It did have a reception area. I think the bottom floor is reserved for storage purposes of some kind, but all the rest is residential use, and it's in a shocking state. It's probably one of the worst apartment blocks I've seen here in the town of West Bromwich. On this site there used to be a works or a factory back in the 30s, 40s, but I'm not sure what it used to be, the factory itself, but this block is it really is a disgrace, and it all just looks all kind of dirty along the side, and you just don't want to dwell on this, looking at this for too long. It's a very unpleasant looking building here in Lombard Street. The old Kenrick and Jefferson building here, all this facade here is being really turned into flats and apartments. For some time it's been like this now, with all this scaffolding just been plonked up in front of it and just been left for about 2 or 3 years it seems. But now it looks as though there is some work being done now. Yeah, workmen are actually now on the site. So eventually this building will no longer be an eyesore as it is at the moment. Corner of the High Street and St Michael Street, and you got the Sunwell pub ahead of me, and we've got a lamp, we've got a traffic light that's almost fallen down. Obviously it's been hit by a car or whatever. It's a bit of an eyesore, isn't it? This made food, everything for £1. There's been here years. This used to be the area here where the water would cascade from the ceiling into a pond, into an oasis pool, but and an all concrete seating area around here. But just look at the state of this. This metal shelving and has been here now for donkeys. It's a complete and utter eyesore, and this is why this is what tells you that the council do not care about Queen Square. Otherwise they would do something about this. Either get rid of it or create an eating area once more, because this is utter ridiculous. And I'm going to show you something else here, just here. I know I've gone on about this a few times. I've gone through here because there aren't any shops left here in this place anyway. But look at this. These coffee machines, about 50 years old, just stuck here on a counter with this metal bar going across. I mean, what's that all about, eh? What it is, and what's it all about? There's more coffee machines here. Just shove them in an auction or something if you want to get shut. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. This is an eyesore all along here of this particular part of the High Street. I'm hoping that when the new market is constructed, the new indoor market is going to make a significant difference to this particular area of the town. Everything looks rather ramshackle along this particular part of the town. Nobody's really particularly happy the way all this area is pedestrianised right into the 80s, and you know, it's just covered in these market stalls. This is the jewel in the crown of West Bromwich without question. It's Dartmouth Park, and Dartmouth Park has got some wonderful areas to come and explore. And on a summer's day you can come around here and you can play football, have picnics. There's lots of kids play areas, keep fit areas, lots of places to come and walk. And it would be lovely if they could use this bandstand more as well. And plenty of benches that you can sit and admire the views, and this lovely garden here that they tend. It's called the Sensory Garden, which is, when it comes in bloom in the summer, it's a very nice place to sit here and admire it. And then suddenly you're hit with this. This is the most appalling structure I've seen in many a day. I don't get what it is, and I will say this as well, it ain't fit for purpose. Whoever decided to replace the wonderful refreshment house when he had that fire back in 1983, somebody decided to give the go-ahead to build this thing. I think it's a kind of a fort. And when it was built, the idea was you can climb up the steps and get to the top and admire the views of Sandmore Valley ahead and the boating pool. Well, what's the boating pool there, just down there? But it's all been sealed off because of health and safety. Couldn't they have foresaw that that was going to happen? Take you inside. All wet inside. This is where the toilets are. And then you would be able to walk up these steps to get to the top, and you can see it's now all sealed off. There's the toilet area. Doesn't look very nice down there, does it? And these gates are closed off. There's a kind of a ramp through there. And if I just push the camera through the gate, you can see there are photographs just on the wall there as well, which I don't know if you got it. You can't. I don't think you even got access to them. So, if you were one of the lucky few to have ever got to the top, then you were indeed lucky, because now you can't get up there. Anyways, just take you up this little ramp, and we've got a few photos on display here. And the ramp just goes round. I'm not sure you was able to ever get through there. A few more photos here. And then you're back where you started, look. Toilets, you can't get up there. That gate's locked. And this is the other thing which is the most annoying, because the refreshment rooms, if you remember them, you could go in, have a cold drink, a cup of tea, coffee. Look at this place, always closed. Now, somebody told me it opens at a weekend, maybe it's a weekend in the summer months or certain months, but I came up here on a hot summer's day once in a week, sometime in June or sometime. It was shut. It was shut. I'm sure it must open. As far as I'm concerned, it never opens. So what we had to do, as it was closed, we had kids with us, and we had to walk all the way back up here to a shop up New Street, just past the bandstand, out of the park, and there's a corner shop up there that sold ice creams, drinks, and that's fortunately we was on the way out anyway, so that's where we had to go. But we could have spent some time here. We could have spent some money in here. But at least it has a dog bowl. It's an awful place, and I don't mind saying that. And I think many people would probably tend to agree, because it hasn't got a purpose. It hasn't got a use. It hasn't got a use, has it? The refreshment room is rarely open. What's the point if it's open on a weekend but not in the week? You can't climb to the top of the tower any longer, and I haven't been able to do that for some time. When it was built, I think it was built on the lines of something similar that was created in France. So somewhere in France has got something like this. I wonder if they could climb to the top of theirs. Shocking building, absolutely shocking. And no, awful. And that's what blights Dartmouth Park. I mean, back in the day we'd have the refreshment room, of course, and then you'd have the boating pool, and we'd have a bowling green, and we'd have miniature golf and tennis courts, and a kiddie paddling pools, and we got nothing. We've got nothing. This fountain used to work once. It don't work anymore. So there's no real amenities left in Dartmouth Park anymore. But it's a very nice place to come and have a walk and get some fresh air. Well, I don't know what you think about that. That's my take of those eyesore buildings. It's just my opinion, of course. They certainly look eyesore buildings to me. And the worst two, I think, in this list are the West House in Lombard Street. I think the frontage of that building is appalling. And the second one is the fort here in Dartmouth Park. It's not fit for purpose. I don't know who came up with the idea of building that. You can't climb to the top because of health and safety reasons. I never see the cafe ever open, and it's just a toilet block, and they're not always open all year round either. So really, it ought to be got rid of, really, shouldn't it? But that's my take. That's my list of a second lot of eyesore buildings in West Brom. Now, for the sake of balance, if you know of any beautiful buildings here in the town, mention them in the comments section below if you could, and I'd love to go and have a look at them. Anyway, we leave it at that, and if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.